Hi, Heyran. How are you?
Good, Alex. I'm great. How are you doing?
Perfect. Very happy. I got basically the message in Slack yesterday that you got the offer. Sometimes days are not the best, and when I'm getting the news when the student gets the job, it's changed my day entirely.
I
So
know.
the last loan, so still, under impression, so it's very, very good and a good impression. I mean, and yeah, tell me a little more about that. So now you're what, software developer?
Yeah, that's the that's the position I got an offer for.
Just
Um,
a, just a second. I think there is something happened with connection.
sure.
The speaker for some reason changed to different. Yeah, I can hear now. Go ahead.
They offered me a position of software developer. Not even the position itself, the title is not even a junior, which was
Mhm.
very surprising for me.
Wow.
Yes, no, I think it's really cool, right? But I will be starting as a junior, obviously, because
Mhm.
I don't have much experience in and
Develop
background in this
in
field.
the development because you completed the manual quality assurance program from
Yes,
Spain.
I did. I finished in January, I believe. Yes, like by the end of January.
Okay.
And then right after I started applying. However, I want to say that I think, like, if I look back now, I think it's very important that I was missing is consistency. Because I'll be like applying and then like, maybe something like personal, or like I'll be like getting discouraged and I'll stop and then applying again. So yeah, I think consistency is a key. So, and like recently, I would say like a month ago, I was like, okay, you should get together and, do things, yeah, get things done. And so I started applying. And then, so with this job, the one that I got offered, I applied as a QA, and then I had an interview with them, and they were looking like they mostly looking for automation.
Mhm.
So that was one of the reasons. However, they offered me to come and see them in person,
Mhm.
and they're located in I'm in Massachusetts, and they're located in New Hampshire, which is
Mhm.
it's not too far.
Okay.
Um, so I was like, okay, let me go there. So when I went there, I meet with a manager, and he started like talking. He was asking me questions. He's like, how I get into this field, and like how do I feel comfortable or not? Like general questions, a little behavioral, a little
Mhm.
technical, and then he told me that I have an offer for you, and I want you to go home and think about it. So we do have an opening for a junior software engineer developer position. We use Java and PHP as a language, like
Mhm.
for coding. And I want you to go home, review it, and see how you feel about it. We'll meet in a week, and if I can see that you're comfortable, because I have a feeling you have a good potential for it, and you
Mhm.
could do it. And if we can see that you're good to go, like we can consider like talking further. If not, that's totally fine. And I was
Mhm.
like, okay. So I went home and I was like, you know what, why not? So I started like looking, and I studied a little bit, and I did some research. So when I went next week, he asked me some questions about PHP and Java, as well as he was asking me questions, like there were certain questions that we studied, like it
Mhm.
was about software development lifecycle. It was about the types of testings, and like,
Mhm.
how do you do that. So I feel like out of like 100% of questions, I was able to answer like 60-70%. Of course, I wasn't coding there, but they were like, I understand. I think like the way you think, like the way you problem solving and everything, that helped me a lot. And so yeah, and then they did one more interview over the phone after that, and that is it. I got my offer.
So how many rounds? How many rounds of interview was there?
So basically, it was 3 rounds.
3 rounds. That's cool.
Yes.
Sometimes it's four. Sometimes it's one. Sometimes it's two. Most of the time it's three or four.
Right.
So it's perfect. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Exciting.
I'm very excited about that.
Thank you.
What I wanted to ask you, so remind me, how did you get information about us, you haven't found us on Google or Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. You came by your friend, right?
Yes, my friend, she offered me. She finished, I believe, in 2021, and like
Mhm.
she found a job like 2 months after, 3 months after,
Right.
and she knew like I'm interested. She's like, you should go, which I'm very grateful for her too.
Yeah, I'll just talk right now to people who gonna watch this video, because people started watching the YouTube, which is really nice.
Nice,
The people who would be interested in this program would be
right.
searching on YouTube and then end up seeing the video like
Mhm.
this. And when I asking the graduates the question, I'm thinking, hey, what would be the biggest challenge for the people who deciding, which program to get started with? So the program manual QA, why did you choose manual and you could choose automation? I think that's because your friend finished manual, right?
Yes,
So you
and I
basically
actually
don't
was
want to change
planning.
and try something else, right?
Yes, I was actually planning like once I'm done with manual to get into a job. That was my whole plan.
Great.
And then start the automation, because eventually I think like it's very good to know like automation, especially
Mhm.
now like there's way more job offerings and they pay higher. You obviously know that. So I was like, that's my plan. So
Right.
which might be still like we never know.
No, that's awesome. I think one of another graduate with whom I spoke, not recently, maybe like half year ago, she said that she would also enroll, but in her company, the company provided her with also like some kind of assistance to learn automation. So it's rare, but it happens. It's really great when you have, an option that at work. Well, tell me a little more about the program and process. How did, how challenging was it to complete the program for you?
um,
Oh, and maybe a little speak before that. Speak a little bit about your background. What did you do for work, maybe, and how good were you with computers?
right. So I was in banking. Since I
Hmm.
moved to the United States, I was working at the bank. And then I want to mention something that in 2020, I started um, a boot camp. It's very popular, it's very big and very expensive. So I started and I dropped because the material was like so chaotic. They will be like giving you so much and they wouldn't even like check up on you. Like, are you understanding what's going on or not? So I
Hmm.
didn't like it and I stopped. And then in 2021, I started another boot camp. It was online in a different state. And unfortunately, I didn't like that either. So I'm gonna give you. I wrote it yesterday already. Review that. I think like there's so many boot camps right now. Like honestly, Alex, I'm saying that from the bottom of my heart that you guys have a very good curriculum because even though the manual it's like you're not even doing any like classes online. You give the material, you study, you do your homework, and then you can move on. But I would always feel the support. I reach out to you like so many times. I'm
Right.
so sorry, but like
You're
I would
good.
always feel the support. I will any questions you like respond me, you explain me, and I can review like lessons like how long it's been already. I started like October, I think, or September. I don't remember. Anytime I open, I review. So it's very cool that I can do that. So I want to just give you very big things about it. It's amazing
I
because I
appreciate
tried
it.
a lot. I tried a lot. So I was interested in doing something in IT, and I was trying to find the right school for myself, and I eventually found you guys. So I decided to switch from banking and go to QA.
Mhm.
Uh, Challenging. I'll be honest with you. I think like uh you should definitely be excited and like you should have some interest. You can't just like, oh, let me just finish, study, finish, and I'll find a job. No, you should like what you do as any other job.
Mhm.
And I definitely think that you should like have at least like couple days a week. You should like separate 2-3 hours just for this, because then it's not like you just watch the video, you finish, you do the homework. No, you need to constantly repeat things to understand. The more you use it, the more you understand. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel. And then I felt really, for me, it was very specific because I'm not from here. I just moved a couple years ago. And the way you explained me how to like apply for jobs, how to create your resume the correct way. Like my resume, it was like I think it was really good because I heard a lot of good reviews after I applied. That it looks really nice, like from people that called me, and that was very helpful for me too. Like how to talk, how to apply, where to apply. Like it's very important. Because it's totally different from other countries, as I know.
Heyran, while you've been studying, have you been making some notes for like separate notes? Did you need that?
You mean during I was studying?
Yes.
Oh my God! Yes, I still have all my. Yes, I will
keep it.
all in.
Because like right now, I have some students, from the past who completed spin career. There are some students who completed, as a QA. They remember us as a QA in USA, our old name. Like we did the rebranding maybe 2-3 years ago. And they right now they moving, changing 2-3 companies. They growing, they becoming the seniors, getting more salaries. They recently one of the students just yesterday, you reached out to me yesterday, and another student graduated. She reached out to me and said, "Hey Alex, I got like a promotion. My salary grew up, and I was able to purchase like she purchased the house recently with her husband." And because of the income, everything is like in the papers, the taxes, so everything is cool. The family basically were able to afford the house, and now she's like excited about new SUV she purchased. So it's really great, and that drives me to help even more. And rest assured, Heyran, I'm gonna, feel free to reach out after you start working in the company. Sometimes there could be some situations, and we already have a community. So I will add you to our graduates chat, where you will see your friends as well, and other people who who've been continuously added to that channel. So yeah, just share your expressions, how excited you are. The guy's gonna support you. Definitely anything like the new job sometimes gonna come up maybe in your company as well, maybe soon, maybe in a year, maybe in a few months. So feel free to share any openings for QA or any other. Maybe some people would be interested in some junior positions, maybe related to QA, maybe not, but might be somebody could be interested. Any help like that would really, really help.
Of course, network is really important.
Right, networking, exactly. What else I wanted to ask you? So tell me a little more about how many interviews besides this company. What other interviews did you do? Was there any?
Oh yeah. So once I finished, I got interviewed right away with a company that's like 5 minutes away from my house, and I was really excited about it. However, they were mixed. It's like a big manufacturer, and they were like looking for someone who does software as well as the hardware. So I did 2 interviews with them. First was with HR, and then second was with the QA team. And then on the third one, unfortunately, I couldn't. I think I even texted you about it. They decided to pick another person who has more experience in that. But it was a good experience for me. And then I did a couple more after that. Then I stopped a little bit. I got a little discouraged, and then I was like, no. And I actually got more I wanted to do more once I watched the video of one of our students that recently we were together. Actually, I saw that she got it. I was like, okay, I should do that.
Motivated you more, right? She
yes,
encouraged you. Okay, don't stop.
Definitely. So I started applying again, and then meanwhile, right now, I explained that yesterday in the message. So I'm doing the interview with one of the biggest hospitals in Massachusetts. It's health industry, and I passed already 2 interviews. So, and I spoke to the guy from talent acquisition, and he told me that there is only 1 interview left, and there is only 2 more people except me. That position, it's and I'm gonna be finishing that interview as well, even though I got the offer. Of course, I wouldn't, like, it's another experience, and you never know. And I think that one, this last interview that I'm talking about, I felt so confident. Like, the more you do your interviews, as you told me that, I remember you told me that.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, easier, give me more and ask me another question. So yeah, I passed it really quick and really. So maybe I'll pass the third one too. We have a big hopes. So yeah, the interview processes is usually it's not that hard. It's everything that we learned. Even sometimes that it might be like something we learned, they wouldn't ask you. But if you mention that you know it or they see it on your resume, it's a huge plus for you. So everything we learned, I like that it's all like needed information. It's nothing extra, like exactly what we need. That was a huge thing too for me.
Nice. Okay. Just was one of the person reached out to us after the live webinar we did recently. She said she would probably for now consider the Udemy or some similar service. Have you ever tried Udemy? No. Yeah.
No,
So
I know, but I never tried it.
yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll ask another person who will, the next graduate who completed and get a job. I'll ask the feedback, because I'm curious about the experience from the people who just, learning things without the internship, without support. I think it could help, for people who already have a lot of background, who already have maybe friends who are supporting, like maybe from the family. Sometimes, in the family, there could be one person who is working for years and can give some good support. Usually doesn't work. Usually you would end up fighting with the other half. But who knows? For some people, it might work. That small courses from Udemy or from other similar services. The only problem is the support and lack of real, practice. Like in our program, you've been doing every lesson. You had to complete some practice, and there would be a person who will accept that, and will give you some marks, saying, "Hey, that's not correct. You can do this and that differently." That's one of the biggest differences as well. But okay.
An internship itself, because I remember like there was so many questions during the interview. They'll ask me, and I would remember not things that I studied, like like technically you just learn, but the things like we tried during internship, like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like
behavioral questions, things like that, like what the situation may happen.
Even technical, like they'll be like asking, "Oh, how do you do this process?" And I'll be like, "Oh, hold on. During internship, we'll start with this. We'll do that," and that's how I answered. So definitely the practice is. I don't know. It's for me. I'll go with like something I can have an actual practice.
100%, right. Cool. Okay, Heyran, any recommendations to the students or people who are just thinking about getting started? There are many people who want to start but have no background in IT. Same as you, while you were working in the bank.
Yeah.
Doing the banking basically, and now you changed that career completely. I assume you never dealt with computers from tech, right? From IT side.
Absolutely not.
So, okay. So what would you recommend? Maybe let me ask you this. What would you recommend to yourself if you would start it over? If you would maybe be like 2 years ago thinking about going to IT, any kind of recommendation like that?
I wouldn't lose any time. I'll start right away, honestly. And I'll be, as I said, more consistency once you start, like once you're done and start applying. Even during, I heard a lot of people like within the course, they already started applying for jobs and everything. And then just feel positive, like what you do, and definitely feel like all your attention, try to like focus on this, because it's a short program and you're given a good like a amount of knowledge. So it's very important. Like if you take this step, like try to focus for some certain time, whatever time it is, 3 months, 6 months, depends on your program. Just stay as focused as you can. And like so many, like at least a couple of my friends, they already started with spin career. So I'm hoping that once they're done, they're gonna give good, news for me too. So, and that's what I'm telling them too. I'm like, you should, guys, focus. If you decided to change your life, because like career is like one of the most important things in your life, if you decided to do that, you should give yourself a time as soon as, just like we do at the college, to graduate and everything, or high school. Same thing, like focus as much as you can, just in a shorter time, but you will see the results. That's what I mean.
Very great review. Thank you, Heyran. Let me
Yeah.
stop the recording.